Tough crowd. I've been writing some jokes. No, I'm kidding. Hey, welcome to Live Positive. I'm your host, Jeff Adams, where we dive in for an hour to motivate you, to get you off your couch if you're in depression, like Robert Vance is right now, because he does not have headphones. He's depressed. Turn your mic on. Voice great. Yeah, so if you see this broadcast, make sure you share it, because sharing is caring around here, folks.
That's right.
We've been doing this show. Well, it made a comeback. It was doing this show for, a year and a half. And they said, hey, in this dark time of what's going on in the world, why don't you bring the show back? So we're bringing the show back, and this is the 4th episode of the reinstallment of 2.0 version. But I guess this is the last show, and they're going to tell me if I made any more shows after this.
Well, cool.
If not, we have to make real big transitions back to maybe the Jeff Adams show. So
yeah, something.
I don't know. This is working. But anyways, hey, if you're watching this, this is powered by BeLive.tv. And BeLive.tv is a platform where you can make your own Facebook Lives and, live stream like a boss.
Yeah.
And you might see this. Who is this ugly looking guy with headphones on right now doing the show and say, you know what? I can do better than he can. I challenge you to do so. So you can just go to BeLive.tv. You can use your Facebook account and sign up. You can be bringing guests remotely. You can bring up lower thirds. You can do all kinds of cool things with. I'm burping here. Excuse me.
That's okay.
Oh,
take your time.
My goodness.
Breathe.
I'm breathing.
It's carbonated water. That's what it does.
I'm really ticked. I'm really ticked at the fact that let me go around the room first and really share who we got in the room. So because we're in a crammed room right now of how many square feet is this?
Probably about 120.
About 120.
No, this is a New York apartment.
Yeah, minus the bathroom, give or take. The stovetop. All right, so I'm going around the room. Let's see, make sure I do this right. We got Robert Vance joining us again. He has no headphones, so if you call in, you're not.
Speak loudly.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to turn your mic up too. While we're at it.
We got it? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit better.
A little better. So speak loudly is what I said.
Yes. And then we have our special guest today, our good friend Chase. He's going to sing us some songs.
Maybe. We'll see.
Let me adjust your mic too. Here. All right, talk a little bit more.
Hi. Hello. Thank you.
We're on the fly. This is live streaming at its finest.
Yeah. But it's how easy you out there can grab a hold of this stuff through BeLive and just rock it.
Rock it like the live stream boss.
That's right.
So we're going to have some fun today. Hopefully this will take you off your, your Sunday
boredom.
Yeah, maybe so. Sunday boredom.
The new kind of Sunday fun day.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, though, this was kind of a stretch. I'm going to be honest with you. Do this on a Sunday because most Sundays I would just lay in my bed and watch like AMC.
It's your day of rest.
Movie. No, actually, Saturday was now.
Was it?
But I was doing a show on Saturdays, but I X'd that to have a day off.
Gotcha.
But I liked on Sundays watching the American movie classics.
Oh.
I'd watch all these old movies and just sit there for hours and then feel like complete. I was about to say cuss word crap.
Right.
BeLive.tv censored version. But yeah, I
telling me now.
Huh? Do what?
Thank you for telling me now.
What?
They get censor.
Well, they fine you.
Watch.
Facebook finds you if you say cuss words.
Watch
right?
Mouth.
Right. They'll turn you off later.
Yeah.
Aw.
Man, I should have gave you the iPad to help switch the cameras.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. Next time.
Nothing.
Next time.
Maybe on the break. Oh wait, we don't have breaks here.
That's all right.
But anyways, Chase, our 4-part series, we've been talking about COVID-19, obviously, and what's been going on in the world, and how difficult it is for a lot of people, especially for you. Because you based a lot of your monies that you make because you're a live performer.
I am indeed.
What have you been doing in these times to make that money? And
remember, it's the censored version.
I do. Wow. Well, again, thank you for that. Wink. No, I have been teaching virtual lessons. It's something that I've been doing before. Virtual lessons. Yeah.
That's great. We talked about that the last time we were in, and he had mentioned one of the things that people were starting to do was try to take the opportunity to do like schooling of kids that were tutoring, stuff like that.
Talking to the microphone.
What's that?
You turn your head to the side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So, but he was talking about opportunities that you can do for tutoring and stuff like that. So you've actually been doing that.
Yes. I mean, I've been teaching voice, piano, and acting coaching, mostly for kids and young adults. I'll get the occasional adult in there who's brave enough to like. I've always wanted to sing. I've always wanted to play piano. I'm like, it's never too late.
Making a comeback.
So yeah. So I've been doing that, and then really creating a lot of content.
Yeah.
I mean, what
kind of content you've been creating?
I've been writing a lot of songs, and then there's several manuscripts that I've been forced to, just because there's a lot of time on your hands, to go back and edit and rework plot lines, characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that. I've reached out to a lot of people who I've wanted to collaborate with.
And listen? Collaborate and listen? All right, stop.
I got
Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with the brand new invention, something. Tightly. Flow like a harpoon, daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo.
You're welcome.
Turn off the lights.
And I'll glow.
To the extreme, I whack a mic like a vandal.
Light up the stage.
And like a chump, like a candle. Blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
You're welcome for that.
That's right.
Yeah. So you've been doing collaborating and listening.
I've been doing a lot of planning, honestly.
Planning? How do you
talking
plan?
to people.
Do you plan in your notes? Do you plan in or do you still jot things down with a pen?
I do jot things down with a pen.
Let me get my pen and pad.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah,
I do. I do actually. For my birthday, I got a quill and ink set.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I find it therapeutic. It makes you slow down, and even the sound that it makes scratching on the parchment, I find it very soothing.
It's amazing, like how, like back in the day, they actually gave a hoot about how good their penmanship was. You know what I mean? Like it was an art form.
It was. It really was.
Do you have good penmanship?
I do have good penmanship, but then I get in a hurry, and the brain works faster than the hand does. So I'm just going, nah.
Mine is horrible.
Mine's okay if I have things plotted out.
I mean, I even get lazy.
If I'm in a hurry.
I get lazy signing like anything. It's just like I start with the cursive J and it goes EFF and then Adams becomes like
you have one of those doctors.
And then it flatlines after that. It just goes, I'm too lazy to do it. Because I go,
wow.
You know what my mind does? It's still to this day. I literally, when I sign my name, it's like I sign it and my mind goes crazy. You're going to mess up your signature. You're going to mess it up. And then each time I just, something happens. It's like, it's like a mental thing for me and I can't follow through with my handwriting.
Right.
I think you might need to talk to somebody about that.
I'm talking to you about it right now. That's what you came here. You came to heal.
Wrong.
You came to heal the mind. You're one of those holistic doctors.
You were tutoring, weren't you?
No, not that. Although a dear friend of mine just graduated yesterday. Hi, Carolyn.
Awesome.
If you're listening, with her master's in psychology.
Share it, Karen.
Maybe through the grapevine, I could text you back some advice.
Give me a Skype session or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. But carry on. I went off on a rabbit trail with that. But you got a book, you journal down, you've been planning. What have you been planning? World takeover? I mean, you got to be happy. I mean, if you're watching this worldwide or whatever, we're in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They lifted some temporary things. You can go to restaurants starting on Monday in Florida.
Right.
25% capacity.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have outside seating, even better.
Yeah.
Bars. I mean, if you got a bar restaurant, I guess you can fall in that mix.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But for musicians like yourself,
it's going to be a while. I mean, because businesses have to recover from this, and probably one of the last things, unfortunately, but understandably so, is what they're going to be adding is live entertainment, because
but they
have to pay us.
But think about it. Here's the thing: there's lots of patios, and if you're a restaurant right now, you have to have a patio.
Yeah.
So that means musicians like yourself.
I'm eager to see how it goes. I really am. I hope that comes sooner than I think it will, just to draw people. And I think this has shown how important the arts really are to people. I mean,
absolutely.
It is I want to say essential. I'm not going to compare us with the doctors and nurses, but it is an essential part of.
You're not essential like I am.
No,
I have the paper.
Not like
if
you.
I get pulled over,
I did not get a paper.
I'm essential.
I didn't get a
I
letter.
work in media. I used to be a musician, but now I'm essential. I've graduated. I have my paper.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. But it's funny. But yeah.
I can make a color copy for it if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I might get in trouble for that. You might get in trouble.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the other day. It's like, DJ, we were doing the Shannon Burke show. DJ came in. He was like, man, the traffic's out here is crazy. And I'm thinking, someone made, because the traffic, I mean, we're not lifted till Monday. And the traffic is crazy in Orlando right now.
Yep.
And I'm like, how many essential people that you are out on the road right now? They all can't have the paper. So someone had to color copy some of these papers. So if they got pulled over.
I don't think people care. I think they're just going for it.
Really?
I think people are just tired of it. They're just going for it.
I agree with you. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm serious. That's because everybody you see on the road, they have nowhere to go. They're just driving. They're just going somewhere to do something on their, like always, looking at their phone, swerving all over the highway.
All right. So let me see who's chiming in here. I'm literally, this is Arabic. Someone typed in Arabic.
Arabic?
Yeah, their name, everything. Their Facebook profile, they're Arabic, and then it's just Arabic lettering. Arabic, that's right. See, I knew you came here for a reason to correct me.
That's the only thing I'm here for.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Huh?
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's saying. He could be saying, no.
Maybe he's got the translator on. It's not texting it over. You know how you can type it in one and it translates it over.
And then let's see here. I'm trying to, because I mean, you have a conversation here, and there's a whole mess of people in here, and they're probably they're not talking to me. I want to leave.
Right.
Stephen Stay says, wish I had mine from the 70s. We were probably talking about something earlier. Dale goes, like the Shure 55. All right. That's how Dale talks. I see his live streams. He's out there.
I see Daniel Garcia is there.
Yeah.
Daniel.
How many people are watching right now?
Yeah. You got to turn your volume down on your phone.
It's off.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because we got to share the broadcast, make sure people see this thing.
Okay.
That's important. What's going on?
Hi, Al. Hey, long time no see, mister.
Nice to meet you, Al.
Hey, Al.
Yeah. Thanks for the shout out, Al.
You're on a live stream show right now. Hey. Joe says, hi, Chase.
Hi, Joe. He's a sweetheart.
Joe Andrews.
Yes.
Daniel Garcia asked Chase about her mic case. That rhymes.
Oh, yeah. Nice coffin case. It's very cool. Very cool.
Daniel Garcia is my saxophone player. Oh, excuse me. He's my saxophone and clarinet and flute player.
Nice.
You have a sexy sax player?
I do. Thank you for saying that.
Awesome.
Because, all right, Daniel, I'm calling you out now. Because I have, since we started working together, I have wanted him to do the sexy saxophone dance. He refuses. He absolutely refuses to do that.
And there's even when they play and they hit that mood, it just feels
well. And you got to do the roll and the whole thing. Yeah. And even when we're playing with my it's called Underground Retro. It's another band that I have where we do almost like a postmodern jukebox type thing, and we have a beautiful burlesque dancer, Angela Lemuse.
Wait, burlesque?
Yes.
What?
Very cool.
Yeah.
You got burlesque dancers?
One at a time.
One at a time?
Yeah. She dances live with us.
How come I wasn't invited to that?
I have. When we there you go. Front row seat when we reopen.
Front row seat?
Anyway, I told him, I was like, well, you do that. Just go your little sexy saxophone. People will put money in the saxophone. He won't.
Well, they wouldn't want that to happen.
And Scott, he's a salesperson at Florida Man Radio. He says, everyone misses seeing live music. Looking forward to when it returns, especially Chase. Scott is a big fan of you. That's great.
That's awesome.
Samuel says it's software. No, this is a live stream platform called BeLive.tv. And you can go there. You can sign up and you can make your own Facebook Live like this. Yeah. Minus the microphones and whatnot. But yeah, there you go. Andrew says, how in the world takeover planning going? Did I read that right? Yes.
Yeah. How's the world takeover planning going?
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of coming in 2 chicken nuggets in my stomach and some special drinks.
It's going well. That's I've been writing a lot, and then I've been meeting responsibly. I have to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
With a producer and working, like diving into the second album.
Cool.
And yeah. It's been amazing. He's really stretching me, which is good, making me kind of let go. And I'm sure other artists can relate with that. When you have something like, I wrote it, it's mine. And then you work with somebody who you respect, who is like, okay, yes, it's yours, but let's take away this, let's add this, let's make it better. And you're like, but that's my baby. And like,
yeah, that's what people do. I mean, that's what good producers do. They make you think about something.
Right.
And at the same time, he makes sure that I felt that I'm heard.
Yeah.
Like this is the storytelling. I'm very attached to lyrics.
Yeah.
That's how I begin any process.
He wants to see the forest
even if
through the
something
trees.
to me, even if something sounds beautiful, I go back to the lyrics. I'm like, you don't even know what story you're trying to tell. These are all fill-in fluff.
Yeah.
It ruins it for me. But I have the habit of being on the other extreme of being
to the extreme. I'm like a vandal.
She's got to put.
I'm going to keep throwing these out to you.
That's right.
Yeah, I am a storyteller. My degree actually is in literature. So
really?
I love that, and I, as a musician and a vocalist, I sometimes get too attached to that. So I do need to work with people who are like, trust the music to help you tell the story.
Right.
Get some space in between.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good. I'm excited with what we're creating.
All right. Chad says, how are you getting such a good sound on your Facebook Live videos? It really just comes down to the voice. It doesn't matter about microphones. You got to have the voice. No, I'm just kidding. You hook up some microphones to your BeLive.tv setup. Go to the BeLivers group on Facebook. I mean, there's 60,000 strong in there, and I'm sure I can even assist you. If you want a private message me, I can tell you how to do it.
It's why we're promoting BeLive.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Great to see Jeff being positive.
That's Lurch from Florida Man Radio, Justin Clark's producer, the biggest practical joker. Am I being positive right now? I don't know if I am. Am I being positive?
Awesome.
Am I putting out a positive vibe?
Would you say that your music, because of the situation we're in, would you say that have you tried to write songs to be positive, or has the weight of the environment of everything right now kind of pulled your music in that direction? Like, how has...
No, honestly... at the risk of sounding cold, no. I
you need to apologize.
As a writer, I tend to go to darker places that are a little more serious and whatnot. Anyway,
right.
Dark.
Well, I told you I love Bat for Lashes, so and that that kind of stuff. That music is great for me.
I find it quite beautiful. I like things that are haunting. At the end of the day, though, I do realize there needs to be redemption. There needs to be hope.
Yeah.
However, I was talking to another musician about this a while ago. Lauren Lester. She's another local singer-songwriter. She's beautiful. Her voice is like honey. It's ridiculous. And she was going through something very serious, and someone came up to her and said, well, I bet you're writing a lot now. And I looked at her and I went, oh, no.
Right.
No.
Saving this one.
During any kind of anything, any trauma, any depression, anything like this, when you're too close to something, you really can't write about it. You have to wait to get some distance and get some perspective on like how you really were processing that. Yeah. And I find that that's a trap some writers and artists fall into, is that they have to get all of this passion and angst out right now where it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually the opposite. Get all that out now like a first draft. You just emotionally vomit, verbally vomit on, and then step back and edit and give it some structure. And that, I think that's when something great comes out of it.
But I mean, you said you got to bring hope at the end. How do you wrap it up to give people hope? I'd rather just do a dark song and just say, you're on your own. Well, hope you enjoyed this song, and wrap it up, and hope you download it.
And there are many musicians like that. So,
So what kind of hope do you give? I mean, that's why I'm trying to ask you. So if you had a dark song that was, you went through a bad breakup, or you experienced death or loss or something, how would you be able to craft that song to kind of bring that hope at the end? Because wouldn't that take away from the whole feel of the song?
A little bit, but it sounds strange, but I find that even hope can be found in asking questions, even if those questions are depressing. As long as you still have the energy and the creativity to keep asking questions, there's hope in that, because you're keeping a story going.
Right.
Even if you know that I may never get this answer, to have enough fire in you to keep asking questions, however difficult they may be, I even find that quite beautiful.
Jerry says to you, he says, do you ever come to the music capital state here in Austin?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. I've been to Texas once, and it was a road trip with my family. I haven't.
Oh, you've got to go to Austin, like South by Southwest.
I know I do.
You've got to go.
I've applied there several times. One day I will get.
It's the best. I mean,
I've heard.
It's a really unique town for music. I mean, Nashville's great. I mean, everybody kind of congregates there now. That's in the industry, but man, Austin is just like, especially during South by Southwest, because like every label in the world is there, and bands, like big bands,
claw my way in.
Yeah, that are used to playing like 1,000 seaters are playing like a club that can fit 150 people.
That's the best.
Oh man.
No, I like intimate shows like that. You really get to hear people, and they tend to slow things down just a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
So that's good. So I mean, you're in the studio, you're recording new music, and enjoying yourself in the process. But how many records have you done so far?
One.
One?
Just one. Just one. Just one.
One nail?
Just one. Isa na lang.
One nail. One nail. Yeah, Jerry says South by Southwest. Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. Yeah, it's the real deal. Yeah, you need to definitely do that.
I agree.
So I mean, I
agree with you.
Have you been traveling a lot? Outside of Orlando doing shows, or it's kind of locally?
No, I've been here for 6 years. I grew up in the Philippines.
Philippines?
In the Philippines. I know. Tallest, whitest Asian you'll ever meet.
I'm surprised you're not doing like heavy goth music from the Philippines.
Well,
that'd be fun.
Well,
a lot of bands.
She still could.
I could.
Yeah.
Not over yet.
Thank you.
We're ready for the song she's about to play.
No idea what genre I might just take a sharp right into.
So how'd you get to Orlando from the Philippines?
I have some relatives here. So, I had a band. My first record I recorded with my band in the Philippines, and I adore those guys, like my other brothers. And there was just only so much I could do back home. There is more opportunity here. I mean,
that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, out of all places in the world, I'm not knocking Orlando. Orlando is great.
Yeah.
But how did you decide on Orlando, Florida?
Well, before that, I was in New York City. I was going to conservatory for acting and music.
Nice.
And I got sick. I got West Nile.
What?
I know. I wish I could swear right now.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes.
I guess you could if you want.
So I went back home to recuperate, to heal.
Yeah.
And during that time, the only thing I could do was write and do music. So after, the body healed and I recorded, I have relatives in Orlando. So it was like, well, that's the only place I know where I wouldn't completely be alone. So if my body started breaking down, I wasn't, completely isolated. Yeah. So 6 years.
Yeah. So COVID ain't got nothing on you.
And the fact that you liked Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and you said, this is the place to be if I want to do, pop music. Right.
With creepy old white producers.
Everything about me says pop. I'm
pop music at its core. But how did you ever, we're going to let you play some tunes here too. I don't know, people eagerly awaiting for that. So with that, how did you find your sound? I mean, what are some of your influences that you like, even though you don't want to try to copycat, but they bring influence to what you
I'm all over the place. I mean, I love Tori Amos. We were talking Back for Lashes, but even 9 Inch Nails. There's still a lot of stuff from the 80s that I'm discovering, because again, I was in the Philippines before the internet.
Right.
I don't know if you want to dive into this. We talked one time, off the radar, but your parents were missionaries.
They still are.
I mean, this is an incredible story.
They still are.
You were a missionary kid. And that's funny, too, because a lot of
Not were, am.
Well, still are, yeah. Sorry. But a lot of musicians, there's an artist called Matt Kearney. You ever heard of him?
I've heard really of, good. Not very familiar with
the artist. He is a missionary kid. It seems like pastor kids, PK kids, missionary kids, they all choose the arts, and they don't have... It's not that they.
It's either that or become an alcoholic. So.
Yeah.
They don't drop. They don't drop what they believe. They just kind of just do their thing. I see that a lot. When you said that, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because you come from that background. But were you living in huts? What were you doing over there?
No.
Okay.
No. When I was, little, we lived in a province called Kalibo Aklan, and that's kind of the visual that people get. We had a boat that we would travel from island to island, and my parents, they were.
Did it have like a stick? You know,
they were they had bancas.
Nice.
And my parents are they're pioneers. They get their hands dirty. I remember my mother, we went to the Aaaaand, which is like the tribal people, like the indigenous people of the Philippines, and picking out lice from their hair.
Yeah.
And starting an orphanage, like hands on, let's help these people. And, help them in all areas.
But when you were picking lice out of people's hair, did you stick the lice underneath your fingernail and
squeeze its head off?
You don't put it underneath that's correct. No, you put it between fingernails.
Oh,
did you really literally pick lice out of people's hair?
I had lice several times. So you do it to each other. It's a thing. It's stuff like that.
It's like public school. It's no different.
Okay. Yeah. No different.
Hey, who wants McDonald's right now?
Right.
Exactly. So stuff like that, and just stuff that you see, like I've lived through several military coups.
Yeah.
I was there for martial law, and
and that's funny. You're here right now for martial law.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no tanks in the street.
So here's So a guy that I build restaurants for, his wife was her grandfather stocked up all this money, and it was from a previous regime, and the guy had millions of dollars buried in this mountain on the land that they had. And when she got over
I wonder if it was Corregidor.
Got married.
You have a lot of stories about that.
They dug up all the money, and it was worthless.
What?
Because they had switched over to a new currency, and the money was worthless. It was tragic.
Well, maybe it was for a museum or something.
I don't know, but it was great. What is great? It was just, but you see, like, people try so hard in these horrible situations to just sacrifice themselves to give to their future. And sometimes it's just the fight is the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did that at the end of World War II.
Yeah.
In Corregidor, they threw a bunch of Filipino coins and stuff into the ocean.
Yeah.
So that the Japanese couldn't take it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
All right, let me get to some of these things here. So I don't want to be rude to these people watching. Joe said, I would like for you to play Silver.
Oh.
And then Eric has a question for you as well. He says, hi, Chase. If you could do a duet with anyone that has ever lived, who would that be with?
That's a good question, Eric. Thanks. I'm a little stumped right now. I don't know. There's so many. Living right now. You said ever lived.
Anybody? Yeah,
Robert Smith.
Oh.
That would be amazing, right?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Oh, Nina Simone. Although I probably wouldn't be able to. Wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, I love Nina Simone. She was actually, I'll never forget this. I was in, it's called the Bourgeois Pig in New York City. And I was sitting there with some friends, and I heard Nina Simone. I didn't know it was Nina Simone. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where people write about, and we see them in the movies. And I was sober, I promise. And it just was one of those, I didn't know if it was a male or a female voice. And I went up to the bartender, barista. It was like a coffee place that served alcohol and fancy cheese stuff. Yeah. And I asked him, I was like, excuse me, who is this? Who is this playing? And I got the dirtiest look. Like,
you don't know, girl.
Exactly. You don't know who this is?
Sorry.
This is Nina Simone. I went, thank you. I went, Nina, that's a woman? So that's it. I went and I listened to everything I could because, again, I don't think her voice is particularly lovely, but it's interesting and you'll never forget it once you hear her.
Beautiful rasp.
Yes, almost like Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
No one sounds like her.
No.
And it was one of the first times it was like, oh, I don't have to sound pretty. I don't have to sound all this, but I can sound interesting. I can sound intense. I can sound wow. So that's like so Nina.
Yeah.
If she came back for one day to do a duet with me, I would summon up that courage.
That would be awesome.
But I mean, I think that's how the music industry went wrong, right? I mean, because, pop music, I'm not discrediting the pop artists that are out there right now, but a lot of it is, what made the greats the greats was their tone, their unique sound and their voices. I mean, one of a kind,
Yes.
Had nothing to do with perfect tone.
And everybody still wants that power note. They want the money note. They call it the money note.
Yeah.
Even in musical theater, that belt, and in pop, that power, which is wonderful, which is impressive, but there's so much more than that. I mean, these interesting voices that you have depth and have layers to them, and you can really hear the emotion. Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine, she did a cover of Beyonce's Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it as, elegant and refined as Beyonce's, version? No. But I believed Florence.
Yeah.
There was that intensity there. There was like,
I was trying to remember the guy with the red hair sings, it's not Simple Minds, but it's the guy with
Simply Red.
Yeah. That dude.
I loved him.
Yeah. Either one of them. But the guy from Simply Red, what's his name? Eric something? Is it Eric something?
I don't know. But he's the only one who took a Daryl Hall and John Oates song.
He is dope.
And made it better. Like a loop.
Yeah.
The Sunrise.
Yes. And he has done more covers that have just crushed it. So he can sing his butt cheeks off.
Oh, yeah, he can. There's no question on that, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, so you're on record number 2. When did you start, writing, and how?
In my head.
Santa. When did you start writing? How did you know you had a musical gift when you're in the Philippines? Picking lines out of young kids here.
Wow, it was at that moment.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was more my mother. My mother's amazing. I was little. I remember that moment of
copying the screams of the light.
I'm a sadist.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. Eat. Picking lies. I came to win. Battle me. That's a sin. Eat.
Oh my God. Wow.
I won't have a slack up. You better back up.
That's right.
Try to play the whole crew and the cool.
See, I wish
cool act up.
Right.
Get up, stand up.
Come on,
throw your hands up. If you got the feeling,
jump across that ceiling.
Jump and touch the ceiling. Mugs, let the funk flow.
Oh, just jump around.
Someone talking junk, yo. I bust them in the eye.
And then it's your song.
Feeling, amping. What's the other word? Feeling, amping. Something da.
But you remember?
I have no idea. No idea.
If Sean Driggers is listening, but you remember when we used to play and you would go into that song from, it wasn't Sledgehammer. Was it Cars and Cars?
Is that what we did?
I can't remember. We played one song and then you would bust into House of Pain. It was hilarious. For some reason, it was the same beat measure. So we would go from the one song into, and it would flow perfectly right into House of Pain. And people in the audience would be like, what the hell?
What's going on here?
We did, what was the song? We did a Rob Thomas song, and then we blended that in.
Rob Thomas? We did Rob Thomas song?
No, I'm trying to remember.
I don't think
which song was that we covered? Sledgehammer.
Yeah. And we went into Search.
That's it.
Search came into the podcast. Third base, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Third base. That's what it was. So
we
went from.
Sorry, we went off on a tangent there.
No, that's fine.
To third base.
And no one really cares. We're just talking amongst ourselves. Hey, you remember that time?
Remember me and you?
We went to McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah.
And we supersized it. Really good.
I got the Coke.
Wow.
I got a Coke. And he wanted a Pepsi, but they didn't serve Pepsi.
Pepsi's too sweet anyway.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, your mom was a big influence with you with music, but when did you start learning that you had the gift?
I started writing songs from a young age, and then I wrote stories, and then was encouraged to sing in church, and then my mom put me into piano lessons.
Nice.
And it just kind of, I would go, because, when we would come back to the States, we would visit different churches to get support. So my father would preach, and eventually I would sing. I would do like an opening little thing, and it was wonderful. For I was never pressured to.
But what would you sing? I mean, if you were in the Philippines and like
I would sing with a little -1, like little cassette tapes of like different Amy Grant. Oh, that I would love to do a duet with Amy Grant.
Really?
I would. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She's one of the first, Christian singers. Like when I was really, 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 really young, she just had this sweet, elegant voice. And so her, Michael W. Smith, Margaret Becker, I grew up on all of those.
Oh yeah.
And I like them. I still like them.
I thought Michael W. Smith was always a phenomenal writer.
I wanted Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant to like marry each other.
Like a spiritual baby.
Yeah. I just thought they were just wonderful, and I love them. And again, I'm in the Philippines, so I have a very, very, they're like my little.
So you got maybe Christian music delayed a little bit, like maybe by about 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Like music here from
this
New
is
York.
hot.
Yeah.
Amy Grant's 1978 vinyl, her first vinyl release. This is hot.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because how old were you in the? Let's see. When were you over there when you were like a child? So you were probably the age. I'm trying to think, like 80s, 90s. I'm trying to think what's hot. Yeah. So you probably
late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
And then what happened when you started hearing the more current stuff that was coming out?
The first cassette tape. God, I'm old. It's great though. I'm actually enjoying it. That I bought was Garbage.
Nice.
That's a good band.
Yeah. Great studio band.
Oh my Lord. And then my mom listened to it and she tore it up.
She goes, "That's just garbage. You're not listening to this."
Look at the name of it.
Last movie.
Yeah. But then I bought it again.
Yeah.
And no, my parents both loosened up, and they've been amazing. They're so supportive. They came from such an extreme, away from the church, and not even the church, but Christianity. So, they were overprotective because they'd seen so much crap growing up. So naturally they wanted to protect me. But at the same time, I'm like, you put me in music lessons. You're encouraging me to sing. What do you think's going to happen?
Funny thing about Amy Grant, I met her a couple of years ago for the first time at a writer's circle that was in Nashville.
Oh, how cool.
But I go back to, because I was raised, in a Christian household, like in a Pentecostal church, Assembly of God. And we literally had record burnings. Like my dad, like I grew up listening to the Beatles vinyl, like Paul McCartney, Beatles.
Oh,
and I would just sit there with headphones. Like my dad still says when I was like 18 months old, they put headphones on and I would just sit there and listen. That was the only thing that would calm me down. Was listen to music.
Wow.
So I'd listen to stuff like the Beatles, Paul McCartney, Wings. And one day he took all the vinyl and we went to the church and it was the devil's music and they had a big bonfire and they threw it all in.
Oh, that's awful.
I was replaced with Evie, who was a Christian singer, and then Amy Grant record. And I'm like, put it in. I'm like, what is this stuff? I mean, where's Paul? Where's John?
Right.
This is not good stuff.
People get fearful. They get fearful. That's what it is. And my father, he got rid of all his old music, but because it was connected to, and he talks about this openly, so I'm not airing any dirty laundry.
Right.
I mean, my father was involved in drugs. He was involved in a crazy, crazy ass lifestyle. So he had to remove himself to just kind of change the way he thought and what he wanted to do with his life. So again, I understand that when you are in such, sometimes drastic measures are needed in the beginning, but now, I mean, before I left for university, my father, he gave me a James Taylor CD, and anytime I hear James Taylor, I think of my dad.
Yeah.
And we reconnect on different music, and my parents too. Like we found a really good middle ground where there's still some things that we'll tug and we'll kind of spar over, but no, they're pretty wonderful. I've got unicorn parents.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
You have something to say, Robert?
I was just saying, oftentimes ignorance is replaced with arrogance with certain people.
Ooh, that's good. That's really good. That's so true.
It's a song title. He just threw you a bone there.
It's all yours.
Oh,
you can sing that now.
Thank you. I'll give you a percentage of the publishing.
Oh, don't say that.
I like it. I'll shoot it.
That was my idea. You make the song. Let's see. It's how long is it going to take to get that switched over?
Probably 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many songs do you want to do?
Well, I have one here that is kind of a top 40 that I've not performed before.
Yay.
And this was an example of, we were talking about someone who just goes for the money, and just stays there.
Yeah.
And I worked the song with some of my students, actually, trying to break it down. That song, Someone You Love.
Oh.
Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, I'd need my band for that. And I'd have to practice like, all right.
I remember that.
Little triangle.
My mom just said, "What a dumb thing to say." Sorry. Should she get mad that I talked about the record burnings at the church?
Maybe.
Mom, come on. We were all there. We burned records.
That's right.
We did it, but it was a good thing. It was a spiritual thing.
See something of it.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, all right. So, mom, I offend my mom, but I actually did it later in my life too. I mean, that was like the first experience I had with God.
Right.
When I was 18 years old, I did the exact same thing. I just pawned everything off, and then because it was, it caused me not to focus.
Well, and again, sometimes you need that, and and that's the thing. When you have an encounter, that is such a personal thing.
Yep.
So when I hear spiritual leaders like directing people to, burn, of course, there's certain things like, just don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. But if when they're commanding you, you should burn all secular books. I don't agree with book burning at all.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that that you need to stay away from.
Well,
and conviction should never be a command. Yep. That is a personal thing.
Well, my mom just chimed in and she says, "No, that was a dumb thing to do." So I think she was saying when it happened.
Oh, she was agreeing with you.
But I do think sometimes what I do, I won't retract my statement, but sometimes you have to do that.
Right.
Anything, not even spiritual stuff, but even like reality stuff. You have to take things like, for instance, like my kids like the game, you got to take gaming away from the focus on school. Or if not, it's
anything. If someone wants to stop drinking, if someone wants to get in shape, sometimes an extreme thing is needed to jumpstart you. So I agree with that. I just, whenever it comes to like burning books and records,
it's you take like I said, you just take a little bit more intelligence into it, and you just realize what you're doing, why you're doing it. You don't need to break things and burn things, but you do need to understand that needs to be out of your life for a while until you have the proper ability to
and that's wise, because we are so easily distracted.
We're creatures of habit.
Yeah. What?
I'm distracted. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Squirrel, shiny. Oh, I do that all the time. Yeah. I'll be in the like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly.
But I'll come right back.
Yeah, we're all musicians. We all do that.
And it's the worst when you're doing a live broadcast and you're sitting there.
I know. What are you doing?
I'm listening. I listen, and then I just sit there. And I'm like looking, and I look out through the
you're
glass.
On autopilot.
And I'm like looking at some bird or squirrel. I'm like focusing on that. I'm like, wow, what is that squirrel doing? And
you swirled on a squirrel.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, an F-bomb flies by.
Oh, that happened before. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
So, what song do you want to sing?
I think I want to do. I think I want to try and do this one, "Someone You Loved,"
cool.
Louis Capaldi song.
All right, let me get to some of these questions. Let's switch the microphone real quick. I'll put it on mute.
And hit it.
And then we can talk about, I'll look at some of these questions real quick while we move over here. Steven Stay says, I've got a stepdaughter that the money note after 19 years of encouraging, I finally got her in the studio. Her album is being mastered as we speak. www.amandabarrick.com. Thanks for being willing to share. I'm hanging on to every word. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Good. I mean, I would love to see people that step into what they're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
After the struggle of being like creative, creative, and you're frustrated. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life. It's the worst.
As a teacher, as an instructor as well, when you're working on something and your student gets that, that light bulb.
Yeah.
Or they get that, like, everything connects. Like, your body's an instrument. So when you finally connect it all and you get that power, and then afterwards they look at you and they're just kind of like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, you just did that. And then the biggest thing, all right, for your daughter, I'm sure she has an amazing coach, but for anybody else out there, don't ever try to recreate. I think that's a big mistake. Like, well, even if you have a really good show, you have a wonderful show, that's wonderful. Appreciate it. Let that go.
Yeah.
Rebuild something new. Remember what you did technically to get there.
Right.
Don't get lazy and just kind of be like, well, I can do it now.
Yeah.
Keep putting in the work, but don't ever try to recreate that moment. It was there. It's wonderful. Celebrate it.
Breathe it in.
Yeah.
Breathe it out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hit the piano keys real quick. Make sure we got. All right, I got to turn it down over here real quick.
Yeah, I'm hearing a little buzz.
Got a little buzz. I hit it one time. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's all yours.
Uh-oh. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. Oh, I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, and somebody to hold. It's easy to say, it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. And now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of loving got me sleeping without you. Oh, I need somebody to know, somebody to hear, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. But now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I tend to close my eyes, but it hurts sometimes. I fall into your arms. I'll be safe in your sound till I come back around. But now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, when you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and you pulled the rug. But I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I let my guard down, you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love.
That's awesome. I can't hear you. Remember, you're on a mic. You got the sign language. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very good.
It's a beautiful song, and I think some of it gets lost when you're on level 10 the entire time. So, yeah, thank you.
What was the title?
Someone You Love.
Someone You Love.
Someone You Loved by Louis Capaldi. It's a great song. I don't want people to think I'm knocking it. It's a great song, but I think part of the responsibility of doing a cover song is to find your own way of, all right, let me try it.
Right.
Not do it exactly like that.
So what? Let's see what time. Make sure we're set on time. I think we had like 9. You want to do another one? Let's do another one. That was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, that's why people come here to hear you sing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Of course, they're not coming here for me and Robert. They're coming here for you.
Oh.
They said these two bozos. We got a brilliant artist in the studio. We don't want to hear them babble.
Yeah, whatever. You guys are great. Let's see.
Is that how you pick your songs live? You go, Yeah, was it Silver? What was that song he was talking about? Silver?
Silver. That is. Oh, wow, I haven't pulled that song in a while.
No?
No.
All right, so don't play
that. I'm going to have to do that for you later, Joe.
Robert's digging in the refrigerator. Look at that shot. Hey, what's in here? Yeah.
Nope, I can't do this song. It has the dirty word.
What dirty word?
Oh, I can't do it. It has the dirty word.
Say it.
Nope.
Missionary girl, say it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So what do you have?
I have an acoustic cover of Lights by Elle Goulding.
Oh, do that. Yes. Yeah. All right.
I got some water. This thing is serious. I love this.
There's a kitty cat roaming around now too.
Kitty.
Kiki Peanut. Bum rushes. The power of live streaming.
Oh, he's
see the cat?
So cute. So cute.
Yay, 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 yay. She knows my voice. Cat person. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Chase's version.
What?
Chase's version.
Chase's version.
I'm Casey Kasem for American Top 40.
Oh my gosh. Can you turn the keyboard up just a tiny bit?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Well, I had a way then, losing it all on my own. I had a heart then, but the queen has been overthrown. And I am not sleeping now. Well, the dark is too hard to beat. And I am not keeping now the strength I need to push me. You show the lights that stop me turn to stone. You shine it when I'm alone. And so I tell myself that I'll be strong and dreaming when they're gone. 'Cause they're calling, calling, calling me home. Calling, calling, calling home. You show the lights that stop me turn to stone. Shine it when I'm alone. Noises I play with in my head touch my own skin and hope that I'm still breathing. And I think back to when my brother and my sister slept in another place. Oh, the only time I felt safe. You show the lights that stop me turn to stone. You shine it when I'm alone. And so I tell myself that I'll be strong and dreaming when they're gone. 'Cause they're calling, calling, calling me home. Calling, calling, calling home. The lights that stop me turn to stone. Shining when I'm alone. You show the lights that stop me and turn to stone. Shining when I'm alone. And so I tell myself that I'll be strong and dreaming when they're gone. As they're calling, calling, calling me home. Calling, calling, calling home. The lights that stop me turn to stone. You shine it when I'm alone. When I'm alone. When I'm alone.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome.
I first heard a variation of that. Melanie Martinez did a cover of it first like that. And I was like, I'm going to take that and play with it. So thank you, Melanie Martinez, for doing that too.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. put that on mute real quick.
Yes, please come back.
We got about how many more minutes? About 3 more minutes. So we got to wrap it up. Joe says, "You back in? Let me fix this. All right, say something. Oh heck! You're not back. You're not back. Something's wrong."
Turn this off. Maybe that's it.
Penny Patricia Adams says, "Beautiful."
Oh, thank you.
That's my mother.
Thank you, Mom.
She's a fan. She's a fan. Is he back in? No, you're not on. All right. Technical difficulties.
Come back.
So where can people find you to get your music?
I am on iTunes and Spotify, Chase Shellee, and then www.chaseshellee.com, 2 L's, 2 E's, and that'll direct you to iTunes, Spotify, my YouTube, where I have been doing more acoustic covers. I think I sent you one. I did Love Song, The Cure.
Yes, you did.
Love Song, and then
Good
I
job
did.
on that.
Thank you. And then the last one was Audio Slave.
And it is only afternoon.
No, honestly, Chris Cornell and Chester, they need to come back. They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
So yes, and on all social media, the handles is Chase Shellee.
No.
So yes, come follow me. You'll see. You'll get some great music, and you'll also see all of my animals.
And then you were talking to me real quick too. It's like you were talking about doing your own radio program.
Yeah.
On Florida Man Radio
Mm-hmm.
on Saturdays. I would take it.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I was talking to you earlier,
Yeah.
Florida, Orlando's known for Disney and a lot of, stuff that's fun. And pop music,
right,
as you said earlier.
Yeah.
But there are so many talented artists who create original work and content, and not just music, but there are some artists, visual artists that are just phenomenal, and they're here. They're just, hanging out in downtown Orlando. So,
hanging out, doing their thing.
Yeah. So to give them a push and to be able to hear their stories and learn from them selfishly, like, all right, tell me your process. How can I make my process better?
Right.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to do well. I mean, I think there needs to be a voice for local music, and you are a voice, so you get that respect from people. So people are going to actually want to come in and do the show. Like if I, ask a musician, I lost my street credit. I don't do music anymore. So I go, hey, you want to come to the show? What do you do? I don't know. I don't have any respect for you. That's how it works now.
Oh,
but you got the street cred now because you're out there playing. Doing your gigs, got a beautiful voice, doing this thing.
Thank you. I work with phenomenal people. The musicians that I have surrounded myself with, it's wonderful. I learned from them. They're phenomenal. From Colin Oliver was one of the first ones I worked with, and he's just him and his wife, Joella. He's a phenomenal jazz pianist, and then she is an outstanding bassist. She plays upright and electric. Like, it's ridiculous. They're amazing. Darren Dunbar, I just got to shout him out because of Alvin Giles, Michael Davis, Keegan Matthews. I mean, just, if I forget you guys, please forgive me. Oh, Patrick Moreno. They're just so damn good.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's wonderful. Jerome Martin, Dev Michaels. I love him. And Daniel Garcia, Philip Washington. So it's wonderful. But then when I get to play myself, I'm like, oh, because these are jazz people.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Don't ever think that. I mean,
no. It's they encourage me.
Yeah.
They've never condescended, but I watch them and I'm like, all right. I need to spend a couple more hours working on my skills.
Watch out, there's a cat in the midst.
That's
Jump on
okay.
you anytime now.
Rubbing up against my leg. Buy me a drink first.
Yeah. We can't hear you. What are you saying? You can't. It doesn't work.
Do you want to come over here and share my mic? Oh, they don't. No.
Robert says,
agree.
Isn't it funny that people can't see the best musicians? That was his question to Chase.
Well, and this is probably gonna get me in trouble, but that's okay. I find that you do not get to see the best musicians because a lot of people are skeptical of original content, and I get that. You do see a lot of stuff that you're like, Ooh, okay, yeah. But then on the extreme opposite, these wonderful musicians, some of them tend to be very snobby.
Yeah.
And
who are you, by the way?
Yes. Yeah. And so they don't feel that they have to engage the audience or put on a performance.
Those artists don't survive at all. I mean, if you come from that old brief in the 80s,
a lot of them are, they're professors, so they're teaching their skill, and they are phenomenal. Like I'm not worthy to touch the microphone that after they're so good.
Yeah.
However, I think sometimes we can get lost in that, where you got to make some things palatable,
right?
Just so you can introduce a new idea sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So whether that's, some people would say that's compromising, it is a little, but
little.
Little.
Well, you got to come back sometime. Do this again.
I'd love to. I'll bring in my my psychiatrist friend,
and
we can tag team and help you with your.
And when you do your show on Florida Man Radio, I'll be more than happy to come in. And do interpretive dances for you.
Yes, please.
Live on the air.
Yes, and we'll get everyone's reaction.
Yeah.
That's like 20 minutes of content right there.
Me and Robert are actually thinking about playing out again. We thought about the radio stuff and playing gigs again. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a blast, but it's just like finding the time to rehearse and do all that.
That's always the thing.
Yeah.
That's always the thing. Yeah.
But I mean, we had a pretty rocking band. It was a lot of fun.
I'm going to have to dig through. Do you have any of that stuff online I can dig through and be like, oh, found this?
I think I pulled the one CD we did off the internet.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I was at the time I pulled it off because I was talking to Sony or something at the time. I was like, oh, this is a big break, and I pulled it all off so no one would see the original version. I thought we were going to re-record everything.
Oh.
But I mean, the original versions weren't that bad. They wanted to like.
Oh, okay. So it's not like blackmail material. You were trying to be responsible. Okay,
right.
Well, all right, fine.
Who is this? Next, my friends, but the Palm don't have the world in 51. It's a tap. What? No.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's that? Doesn't work. No. We got to get that other board here. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, Chase.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I believe people, it's in the description. If not, I'll put it in there for people that are going to watch the replay. Your website, we'll put it up there. People can click and you can check out her. If you're ever in the Orlando area, make sure you check her out, or she might be hitting the road real soon here, heading to Austin, Texas. Do some gigs.
Hey, Mr. Person who was talking about Austin, send me some stuff. Yeah.
Quickly.
I'll go.
Quickly. That's awesome. I mean, it was amazing. I think it was another time that I had on the old studio in Lakeland, I had live music. But this is the first time I actually did it in here, and it was awesome. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Into the space. Awesome.
The can claps.
I'll take it.
All right. So, you got to come back again and let's do this real soon. Robert, thanks for, the last 3 shows co-hosting. Your mic's turned off, but I appreciate it. Chase, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Wish you awesome success in your ventures of getting back in the saddle and doing live music again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'm ready. I'll come out to the shows. We'll come out to the shows, support you. And
I might need some backup dancers.
I can do that. I can even pull out a couple raps for you.
Yeah, as you've proven, you can. Good. Yeah.
A couple of raps. Bunch of crap. All right. We're going to call it a show. And thanks for you guys watching. Make sure you share this broadcast and tell BeLive.tv is like, hey, we like Live Positive coming back for these 4 shows. I got to talk to them tomorrow in a marketing meeting and see if there's another show. But anyways, share is caring. And hopefully we'll see you back next week. If not, we will transform into Jeff Adams show and take over the interwebs once again. So see you guys real soon. And live positive, folks. See ya.